Hi everyone. In this video, I'm continuing the solvation of bits related to organic chemistry. So in last few videos, we have seen about the few bits related to organic chemistry and the synopsis what I have explained. Okay. Now I'm going to solve the question. There itself, I'm going to give the solution for the bit. See next question. So still many questions were there before this one, but I'm trying to explain most important questions only. Okay, in that another most important question is, in Zeldal's method of estimation of nitrogen is quantitatively converted to ammonium sulfate. It is then treated with standard solution of alkali. The nitrogen which is present is estimated as. So Zeldal's method is one of the method which is used to estimate nitrogen. That means here we want to know the quantity of nitrogen. So that quantity of nitrogen can be estimated by Zeldal's method. Okay, so here we are taking organic compound which is containing nitrogen. Okay, nitrogen containing organic compound we are taking. Now it is treating with what? It is treating with the first we want to treat it with the uh, concentrated sulfuric acid, that is concentrated H2SO4. Whenever organic compound containing nitrogen is treated with concentrated sulfuric acid, it can be converted into ammonium sulfate, NH4 taken twice SO4, ammonium sulfate. Now this is the form of nitrogen present in the organic compound converted to ammonium sulfate. Now this ammonium sulfate is then treated with alkali. Alkali is nothing but base. Now it is treating with base, that is NaOH. Whenever 2 moles of NaOH react with this, it can be converted into 2 Na react with SO4 converts into Na2SO4 plus from here 2 hydrogens react with 2 hydroxy group and converts into 2H2O plus it can give 2 moles of ammonia, NH3 can be created. That means here nitrogen is liberated in the form of what? Ammonia. So the answer is third one. Ammonium gas is liberated. Nitrogen in the form of ammonium gas is estimated. Okay. Now another most question is 1.6 grams of organic compound gave 2.6 grams of magnesium pyrophosphate. The percentage of phosphorus is estimated in the compound. Okay, so here this is the test what we are going to use to know the percentage of phosphorus. Okay, so to know the percentage of phosphorus, first organic compound containing phosphorus is treated with different reagent, then the phosphorus can be converted into magnesium pyrophosphate. So they have given the weight of magnesium pyrophosphate, that is 2.6. so this is from 1.6 grams of organic compound. Initially we have taken organic compound. Okay, such organic compound is containing phosphorus. Whatever the phosphorus present in that organic compound reacted with many reagent and can be converted finally into magnesium pyrophosphate. In this form the phosphorus is present. So the weight of this is 2.6 grams. Now we want to know the percentage of that phosphorus. For that we have a formula. So to calculate percentage of phosphorus present in the organic compound, it is always equals to weight of the phosphorus and molecular weight of the magnesium pyrophosphate. Here phosphorus is present in the form of magnesium pyrophosphate, so for that the molecular mass is said to be 222. Okay, into weight of the compound which is formed, that is considering as X, and weight of the organic compound what we have taken, that is considered to be W, into 100. Why we want to multiply it with 100? Because here we are trying to get the results in the form of percentage, so that we want to multiply it with 100. Okay, so that means here what is happening, first we have taken the weight of phosphorus in the form of phosphate and the total molecular mass of the compound found from the organic compound, that is magnesium pyrophosphate, that is 222, into X. What is this X? This is the amount of the magnesium pyrophosphate which is formed, that is called 2.6. okay, divided by the weight of organic compound what we have taken, that is 1.6 into 100. Okay, now substitute that value, 62 by 222 into X, that is nothing but 2.6, and W, weight of the organic compound, we have taken given in the problem 1.6 into 100. After multiplying all this, you will get the percentage of phosphorus. That percentage of phosphorus is finally 45.38%. You just calculate. After calculating all that, we will get the percentage of the phosphorus as 45.38%. Okay, now see the next question. In Zeldal's method, again Zeldal's method they have given. What is this Zeldal's method? It is the method which is used to estimate the nitrogen in the form of ammonia. Okay, copper sulfate. In between we can use CuSO4 as a catalyst to carry out all this reaction, conversion of organic compound into ammonia. We have to use a catalyst, that is nothing but copper sulfate. The question is about this copper sulfate. In Zeldal's method, copper sulfate acts as what? It is acting as a catalytic reagent, because it is not participated in the reaction, but it speeds up the rate of reaction. Whatever the reagent which do not participates in the reaction but speeds up the rate of reaction or alters the rate of reaction, that is said to be catalyst. Here this is having that catalytic property. So the answer is the third one, that it can act as a catalytic agent. Now see the next one. The blue compound formed in the positive test for nitrogen with Lezine solution of an organic compound is. So here what we are doing, Lezine's test. Why we want to do this Lezine's test? To confirm the presence of nitrogen atom in the organic compound. Okay, sometimes in the organic compound along with carbon and hydrogen, other elements may also present. If you want to find the presence of nitrogen present in that organic compound, we want to go through this Lezine's test. Okay, so whenever we perform this test, here we are getting what? Blue color compound is formed. That blue color is due to what? That we want to find out. So first see the reaction for this. Now we are taking cyanide which is present in the organic compound. Here nitrogen present in the organic compound. Whenever it combines with the carbon, obviously organic compound is containing what? Carbon atom. When that carbon react with nitrogen, it can be existing in the form of cyanide. When the cyanide react with ferric chloride solution, that ferric chloride is containing ferrous ion, that is Fe plus 2. Okay, when 6 moles of cyanide react with Fe plus 2, it can be converted into FeCN taken 6 minus 4 complex. When these two undergo, here what we are taking in a test tube, we are taking organic compound containing nitrogen. To this ferrous chloride is added. In that only ferrous react with the cyanide, converts into ferrocyanide. Okay, now this ferrocyanide whatever is formed, it participates in further reaction, FeCN6 minus 4. To balance the reaction, here we are taking 3 moles of ferrocyanide when react with 4 Fe plus 3 ions. Okay, so ferric ions, when it react with this ferric ions, it can be converted into Fe4. 4 we have taken, here I have written Fe4 into FeCN taken 6. Now this group is in how many moles? 3 moles. So that right here taken thrice dot XH2O. The total reaction takes place in water system. Okay, water as a solvent. So then Fe4 FeCN6 taken thrice dot XH2O molecule is compound is created. So that means ferric ferrocyanide is formed. Due to the formation of this ferric ferrocyanide, the total color of the solution changes to blue. Okay, the total color of the solution changes to blue. That means in this Lezine's test, this is called Lezine's test. In this Lezine's test, the blue color of the solution is due to formation of ferric ferrous chloride cyanide. So the answer is the fourth one, Fe4 FeCN6 taken thrice. Now see the next bit. Which of the following compounds will exhibit geometrical isomerism? So first we want to know what is meant by geometrical isomerism. Geometrical isomerism is a type of isomerism. We have seen only 4 types of isomerism. Okay, this is another type of isomerism which can be seen only in a molecule containing at least carbon-carbon double bond 1. Okay, if at least one carbon-carbon double bond is there, in that compounds we can see this geometrical isomerism, because between these 2 carbon atoms, due to containing a double bond, it is very difficult to rotate the bond. So based on the type of groups, we can easily say whether it is containing geometrical isomerism or not. If suppose these are attached with two groups, because the valency of each carbon is 4, 1 2 3 4, here also 1 2 3 4 bonds are there. Here A and B located, and here A and B located. Just imagine, on this carbon this and this are similar, on on both carbon these two groups are similar. If similar groups are present on same side of double bonded carbons, then that is said to be cis. These two are similar and they present on the same side, and these two are similar, they are present on the same side, so we can say it is a cis isomer. Sometimes that similar groups like A and A present on opposite sides. Okay, B and B, they are also similar, now they are present at the opposite sides of double bonded carbons. Okay, then that is said to be trans. If similar groups are present at opposite sides, then that is said to be trans. If similar groups are present on same side, that is said to be cis compound. Geometrical isomerism is said to be cis and trans isomerism. Okay, now we want to find out which compound can show such type of isomerism. First, write the complete structures of these names. First one is 3-phenyl 1-butene. Bute indicates what? 4 carbon atoms. 1 2 3 4. 3-phenyl, that means at third carbon atom phenyl group is present, C6H5. 1-butene, this is double bond, at first carbon double bond should be present, CH2 CH, single bond CH2 bond CH3, 2 3 4. Okay, this is the compound. Now if you see this compound, you have to consider, in geometrical isomerism you have to consider only double bonded carbons. You just write these separately. C double bond C, upon this carbon 2 hydrogens are present, write like this. Upon this carbon 1 hydrogen, and another group is CH CH3 C6H5. Now here both are same type of groups, then it cannot show such kind of geometrical isomerism. At least two groups, okay, these two, both the groups present on the double bonded carbon should be similar, but now such kind of condition is not there, so it will not show the geometrical isomerism. Now we'll see the next one. Okay, second compound. What is second compound? 2-phenyl 1-butene. Again 1-butene, C double bond C. Okay, 1-butene means at first carbon double bond is present, the remaining 2 valence with the hydrogen. Next, still it is containing 3 bonds, sorry, 3 hydrogens, so 3 carbon atoms, 1 2 3 4. Okay, butene. At this carbon atom, at second carbon atom, now this is second carbon atom, here phenyl group is located, C6H5. Okay, 1 2 3 4. See here, 1 2 3 4. 1-butene, 2-phenyl. Okay, 2-phenyl 1-butene is formed. This is the second one. Even here a double bonded carbon atom, different kinds of groups are located, then it is very difficult to show this geometrical isomerism. Now move on to the third one, that is 1,1 diphenyl 1 propane. It is propane. Propane means here there is no pi bond, double bond is not present, it is only single bond, so it will not shows the geometrical isomerism. What is compulsory condition to show this geometrical isomerism? It should contain at least one double bond. Here there is no such kind of double bond, it will not show the geometrical isomerism. Now move on to the fourth one, 1-phenyl 2-butene. Okay, 1-phenyl 2-butene, write that 2-butene. At second carbon double bond is present, this is first carbon. Okay, 1-phenyl means at first carbon it should contain 1-phenyl 2-butene. This is the compound, 1 2 3 4. It is 1-phenyl 2-butene, sorry, CH2 C6H5, and here hydrogen. Okay, 1 2 3 4. So 1-phenyl 2-butene. Okay, this is 1-phenyl 2-butene. Here two similar groups present on the two double bonded carbons. This is and this hydrogen. On both the carbons they are located. If they are present opposite sides, that is said to be trans. Even we can write this for this. If you write these two similar groups on same side, that is CH3, C, H, double bond C, and here write H. So these two are the similar, they present at the same type, same position, CH2, C6, H5. If two similar groups present on the same side, then that is said to be cis. If they are located at opposite, that is said to be trans. Now the fourth compound, this is called fourth one. Fourth one can show such kind of isomerism, geometrical isomerism. Okay, now we'll see about the KSET corner questions. Whatever have asked in previous years, that we'll see. See the first one. Which one of the following conformations of cyclohexane is least stable? Okay, least stable one we want to find out. Okay, among the all conformations of cyclohexane nearly shows 4 conformations, that is chain form, twisted boat form and half chair form. Among all, which is least stable we want to find out. So answer for this is half chair form. Okay, half chair form is the least. This is the order of stability of cyclohexane conformations. Among all, chair form is more stable than twisted boat form. This is more stable than boat form. Boat form is more stable than half chair form. That means among all, this is the least stability. You just remember about the words. Okay, that is enough. So here totally cyclohexane. This is called cyclohexane. This is not benzene. Why it is not benzene? There is no double bond, so it is just to be just cyclohexane. It can show these 4 types of conformations. It is type of isomers. Okay, among all these types of isomers, so this half chair form is least stable and chair form is more stable. So the answer is the second one. Okay, now see which one of the following has the most nucleophilic nitrogen. Okay, that we want to find out. So nucleophilic means which is having the property to donate lone pair of electrons freely. Okay, so whatever the group is having the property to donate lone pair of electrons very easily, that is said to be more nucleophilic nitrogen. Okay, here lone pair of electrons are present, here lone pair of electrons are present, even here lone pair of electrons, and even on this nitrogen lone pair of electrons are present. So among all these 4 types, the lone pair of electrons present on this nitrogen are freely available. Okay, are freely available, so that it is said to be more nucleophilic nitrogen when compared to the other 3. In these 3, the lone pair of electrons present on nitrogen participates in delocalization, but here such kind is not be seen, so that it is more nucleophilic nitrogen atom. Now see the next question. Chloroacetic acid is a stronger acid than acetic acid. First write down what is acetic acid. CH3COOH. This is called acetic acid. Now chloroacetic acid. If one of the hydrogen from here is replaced by chlorine, that is called chloroacetic acid. ClCH2COOH. Now chloroacetic acid is stronger acid than acetic acid. This is more strong. Why it is stronger acid? Because more electronegative group chlorine is attached to the carbon containing COOH. Thereby it tries to take electrons from here. The partial positive charge is created on the carbon and loses this hydrogen very easily. Whatever the group is having the property to lose hydrogen very easily, that is said to be stronger acid. Okay, such property is present on this. This is due to which property? They have given 4 options: minus I effect, plus I effect, minus M effect and plus M effect. Okay, this is due to minus I effect. So chlorine is an example, minus I effect group, electron withdrawing group. Now it is pulling electrons towards itself. Okay, thereby the partial positive charge is created on carbon and loses hydrogen as a proton. So that means due to containing minus I effect group on this chloroacetic acid, it can act as a stronger acid. Okay, but here such kind of group is not at all present. So the answer is the first one. Now the question, IUPAC name of the compound. Okay, here we want to write its IUPAC compound name. Okay, this is the functional group. I am writing the same compound here. and here Br, and here CHO is present. So this is a major functional group. So the functional group carbon should be included in the parent chain. First carbon, second carbon, third, fourth and fifth. This carbon is not involved in the parent chain, then it becomes the substituent. Okay, this is methyl. Here methyl group is present. At second carbon methyl, third carbon bromine. According to alphabetical order, which comes first? Bromine. So 3 bromo. Okay, 2 methyl pentanol or pentane, 1 Al. We should not write OL. If you write OL, that belongs to alcohol, but here aldehyde is present, we have to write Al. 3 bromo, 2 methyl pentane, 1 ol or pentanol. So the answer is the third one. Okay, see the next question. Which one of the following nitrogen atoms in the given compound is most nucleophilic? I have already told you when we can say a nitrogen atom or any atom is more nucleophilic in nature if it is having the property to donate the electrons very easily. Okay, if any atom is having the property to donate electrons so easily, that is said to have nucleophilic property. Okay, here lone pair of electrons are present, here lone pair of electrons are present, even here nitrogen contains the lone pair of electrons. Compared to this first one, second and third one, they are very close to the minus I effective group. Then this electrons given here, even this electrons given here. Okay, but it is not so easily giving this. That means freely the electrons are available. So the first nitrogen is more nucleophilic in nature. So the answer is the first one. Okay, next one. The maximum number of possible isomers in 1 bromo 2 methyl cyclobutane. 1 bromo 2 methyl cyclobutane, that we have to see. Okay, now here we want to find out number of possible isomers. First write down the structure. It is a cyclobutane. Okay, that is CH bond CH bond CH bond CH. We want to balance the valency, we'll see later. 1 bromo 2 methyl. Okay, 1 bromo 2 methyl. Anyone we can take as a first carbon. Okay, because all are having the same priority. I have taken this as first one. 1 2 3 4. It is also balanced. 1 2 3 4. It is also balanced. 1 2 3. So that CH2. Here 1 2 3 4. Upon this carbon, 2 similar hydrogens are present. I am separating this. Upon this carbon also, 2 similar groups are present, hydrogens. And here this carbon is with 1 hydrogen and 1 CH3, and here 1 bromine and 1 CH. Okay, so first we want to find out asymmetric carbon. You want to know what is asymmetric carbon. Asymmetric is a carbon, the carbon which is attached with 4 different groups A, B, C, D. Okay, if a carbon is attached with 4 different groups, then that is said to be asymmetric carbon. Asymmetric carbon is always indicated by star. Okay, see here, first carbon, this is the first one. So it is attached with 1 hydrogen, 1 bromine, 1 CH2. Okay, 1 2 3, here CH3. 1 2 3 4 groups are different, so it is first asymmetric carbon. Now see this. Upon this, 1 hydrogen, 1 methyl group, 1 CHBr group and 1 CH2 group is located. So all the 4 are different with each other. Again it is a asymmetric carbon. But upon this carbon, 2 similar hydrogens are present, so it is not a asymmetric. Even here 2 similar groups are present, so it is not a asymmetric. So totally how many asymmetric carbons are there? 2 asymmetric carbons are there. So then to calculate number of isomers in a compound, number of isomers is always equals to 2 to the power of n. Here n is nothing but asymmetric carbon. N is asymmetric carbon. Okay, n indicates what? Asymmetric carbon. Now how many asymmetric carbons are there? 2. So 2 to the power of 2, that is equals to 4. 2 square is nothing but 4. So this compound is trying to show totally 4 types of isomers. So the answer is the second one. Okay, now see the next question. Which one of the following is the most energetic conformation of cyclohexane? Energetic in the sense, whenever energy increases, stability automatically decreases. Okay, less stable and more energetic one we want to see. So we know the stability order, I already given you. Okay, so this is the one what I have given. Among all, which is the more energy and less stable? This is less stable and containing high energy. Half chair form is containing high energy. So the answer is the third one. Okay, now next one. Formic acid is stronger acid than the acetic acid. Formic acid is stronger acid than the acetic acid. What is the reason? That is due to plus I group. First see the formulas of formic acid and acetic acid. HCOOH is the formic acid. CH3COOH is the acetic acid. So formic acid is the stronger acid than acetic acid because here containing plus I effect group. Methyl group is a plus I effect group. What it will do? It donates electrons to the carbon. Then negative charge increases on the carbon. It will not lose this hydrogen so easily as a proton. Automatically acidic nature decreases. This acidic nature decreases is due to presence of plus I effect group. But in this case no plus I effect group. Hydrogen is neither considered as plus I effect group nor minus I effect group. So its acidic nature is somewhat high when compared to this. So the answer is the fourth one. Now see this is the homework for you. Okay, you just try to write the complete structure and find out its answer name. Okay, this is homework question for you. Try to solve that. Now we'll see the next question. Now see the next question. Out of the given two compounds, the vapor pressure of B, this is the P compound, at a particular temperature is either high or low, that we want to find out. So both are containing same molecular formula. What is the difference? Only the presence of NO2 group. Here it is located at ortho position, here it is located at para position. That is the only difference. Now among these two, which is containing higher vapor pressure, that we want to find out. A always contains the higher vapor pressure because due to containing these two bulky groups opposite with each other, they tries to participate in intermolecular hydrogen bondings. Intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So that they are highly volatile in nature and they have higher vapor pressure than that. Okay, so this is containing higher vapor pressure than that of A. So B is containing higher because first one is volatile in nature, easily gets evaporated. Volatility is nothing but which can easily evaporates into the environment, that is known as volatility. That volatile property is due to intermolecular hydrogen bonds. It could not participate in intermolecular, it can participate in intramolecular. Okay, so that is intramolecular. For B I am giving. See here OH is present, here NO2, I am writing separately, N bond O, double bond O. What happens? These two groups are nearer with each other. Then hydrogen can be attracted towards the lone pair of electrons present on oxygen slowly. Then they will make hydrogen bond. Within the same molecule, a hydrogen bond is created, then it is said to be intra. Okay, intramolecular hydrogen bond. But such kind of bond cannot be seen in this molecule because they are far apart with each other. Then they can form intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Once they form intermolecular hydrogen bonding, they will be volatile. They easily evaporates. When they easily evaporates, then vapor pressure is less for this and for this it is more. Okay, B is higher than that of A. So the answer is the first one. Now see the next question. Which among the following is not true regarding electromeric effect? Okay, see the first one. It results in the appearance of partial charges on the carbon atom. No, a permanent charges, complete charges can be created in electromeric effect. Partial means we can represent by using like this. Complete means we can represent like this. In electromeric effect always we can represent them by using complete charges. So the first one is the incorrect statement, or it is not the true statement regarding to the electromeric effect. Now this is homework for you. You just write the complete structure and one by one step you just give the name of the compound. Next, the relative. 12th one is the homework. The relative acidic strengths of benzoic acid, orthotolic acid and paratolic acid that we want to give. Okay, so among all which is containing higher acidic nature, that we want to find out. First write down the structures. So see here they have given benzoic acid. If COOH is present on benzene, that is known as benzoic acid. And second one orthotolic acid. For benzoic acid, if at ortho position, this is ortho position, CH3 group is located, that is called orthotolic acid. Okay, next paratolic acid. For benzoic acid, if at para position, this is para position, CH3 group is located, then it is called paratolic acid. Okay, among all which is containing higher acidic nature, that we want to find out. Okay, so see, among all, orthotolic acid is containing more acidic nature, because this is due to the plus I effect group which is very nearer to that. So orthotolic acid is more acidic than this one. Okay, that is benzoic acid. This benzoic acid is more acidic than paratolic acid, because in this paratolic acid these two groups are far apart to each other. Then plus I, whenever distance between plus I effect group this increases, acidic nature gets decreases. So relative acidic strength, the fourth one is the answer. Orthotolic acid is more than benzoic acid than paratolic acid. So this is homework for you again, IUPAC name. Okay, they have given a structure. For that you just write the IUPAC name. This is homework for you. Now we'll see the next question. Now see the next question. Mesomeric effect involves. Mesomeric effect is also known as resonance effect. Delocalization of pi electrons is known as mesomeric effect. So here the answer is delocalization of pi electrons. First one. Okay, now see the next question. The number of optical isomers of the compounds. Okay, here they have given a compound. What is this compound? CH3CHBr. I am writing that is separately, bond CHBr. Okay, bond COCH. Okay, bond COCH. Now for this we want to find out number of optical isomers. First what we want to do, we want to find out asymmetric carbons. Asymmetric carbons are indicated by small n. See the first carbon. Okay, what is asymmetric carbon? A carbon which is attached with 4 different groups, that is called asymmetric carbon. So this carbon is attached with 3 similar hydrogens, so it is not a asymmetric carbon. Now see the next one. It is attached with 1 bromine, 1 methyl, 1 hydrogen and 1 this group. So all the 4 are different with each other, so it is a asymmetric carbon. Now see this one. Even it is attached with 1 bromine, 1 COCH group, 1 H and 1 this group. All these 4 groups are different with each other, so it is a asymmetric carbon. Okay, now this is not asymmetric carbon because there are no 4 atoms on these two. That means total number of asymmetric carbons are just 2. Okay, what is the formula for isomers? Number of isomers, that is equals to 2 to the power of n. What does n indicates? Asymmetric carbon. How many are there? 2. So the 2 to the power of 2, that is equals to 4. So the answer is the 4. Fourth one. Okay, only the formula to find out number of isomers equals to 2 to the power of n. What is n? N is nothing but asymmetric carbon. If you know what is asymmetric carbon, then it is very easily to find out this number of isomers. Next question. Meso compounds do not show optical activity. The reason is that they contain plane of symmetry. Meso compound is a type of compound. Okay, that type of compound do not show optical activity because they do not contain plane of symmetry. Okay, see the next question. Least energetic conformation of cyclohexane. Okay, cyclohexane stability order we have seen. Okay, see, this is the stability order of cyclohexane. If stability is more, energy is less. For this less energy, okay, that is state form is the very less energetic form. So the answer is the first one. Next question. Which of the following is strongly acidic in nature? Para-nitrophenol. We'll see the structure of para-nitrophenol. Phenol means a benzene ring which is containing OH. Para-nitro means at para position NO2 group is present. So this group is minus I group. Once the compound is attached with minus I group, automatically its acidic nature gets increases. So because of that reason, it is highly acidic. Now see the next bit. Acetone and propanol. First write the structures of acetone and propanol. Acetone structure is CH3 C double bond O CH3. What is another one? Propanol. Propanol formula CH3, CH2. Okay, propanol, CHO. Al indicates what? Al indicates the presence of aldehyde. 1, 2, 3 carbons are there, propanol. So here one kind of functional group is present, here another kind of functional group. What is this? This is ketone and this is aldehyde. So if they are differing, so if two compounds having the same molecular formula differs in the functional group, then those are known as functional isomers. Now these two are functional isomers. Answer is the first one. Okay, in this K-set corner I have solved nearly 20 bits. Still few more bits are there. You try to solve the bits in K-set corner. Okay, in next video we'll see NEET corner and JEE corner. Thank you.